development environment, we need to deal with server-side coding. Now, if you are if you are a server-side coder, if you are a back-end developer, it is obvious. Okay, what's happening? Can we restart it again or what? Hello?
Yes, sir, we are live now. We can continue with this.
So need to start from the beginning itself.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So are you giving me thumb or like can I start?
Sir, we'll give you the counter of 3, then we'll start.
Okay. Hey, hi everyone. Welcome back to today's live stream session on exploring REST APIs. As we all know, producing REST APIs plays a very vital role in the server side code development, backend development. As a backend developer, we should be expertise enough to produce REST APIs. As we know, this architecture is not the latest one, but we like earlier while developing web applications for the services, we were writing a server side code by using, if you are a Microsoft developer, then obviously we are using ASP. If you are a Java developer, then we'll be using JSP. If you are a PHP developer, then you are using PHP. But without REST APIs, that server-side code will perform the functionalities only for the unique or only for one client who is requesting to the web server. It means the front end and the back end are actually deployed on one server only. Now, if you want to make these services available to the any front end, any web client, then in such situations, REST APIs plays a very vital role. Nowadays, in the development, REST APIs, microservices are playing a very vital role. That is the reason I picked up a topic, how we can able to develop, document the APIs, deploy the APIs, test and integrate. With the Team Axiom, we are planning to showcase and explore all these technical expertise related to the REST APIs. Though we know that the microservices and the REST APIs looks similar, but obviously they have a different objective and the architecture. Today's agenda is to explore REST API so that by using Node.js as a MERN and mean stacks are on the top of the architectural like popularity, technical architecture wise, because the applications, mostly e-commerce applications, whether it's a web or the app, it requires APIs, the server-side coding, and as the popular front-end frameworks is a React as well as Angular and the Vue.js, and in the cross-platform app development will be using the React Native, iOS developments, Ionic. So in both the cases, whether it's a web or app, REST APIs plays a very vital role, so that we can test them as per the functionality, and will just take a role of interacting with the client. It accept the data, accept the request from the client, and to develop the response from the server, it has to be taken care by the REST APIs. Let's explore with the Team Axiom, so that we all get the confidence how we can able to produce the REST APIs. It has to be well documented in such a way that anyone who want to use it can go through it, can test them to the tools like a Postman, Swagger, and then able to integrate them to complete the applications. Any queries, do comment us or raise your hands, so that like or we are live in the various platforms. So do comment us so that like I can able to answer them, and you'll get uh, the queries will be resolved by that. So over to Team Axiom for exploring REST APIs. I'll be back again if you have any queries on the same topic. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Good morning, sir, and everyone. I'm Sahil from Axiom TechGuru. Let me share my screen first. Hope my screen is visible to you all. Okay. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to demonstrate such kind of topic on REST API development. So today we'll go for this 5 topics, which is how to create a REST API, deployment of APIs on server. So we'll get the URL to use for multiple applications of APIs, and then we can integrate that. We'll set a proper documentation of APIs creation and deployment, such that, and we can test it also. So first we'll go with the REST API introduction. Okay. So first, what is REST API? So REST API is a way to verify that, uh, which helps us to create and connect it with the two multiple applications, in between two applications for interaction purpose. When let's take an example of authentication. Whenever we are going to for a registration of particular application, so we just register there as our details, and then we registered. Instead of going with that procedure, what we did till now, we just sign up with Google, Facebook, and many other sources. So that time we didn't use the main application of that Google or Facebook. We use the API of that particular source, and this is the way which gives us a access of their application, not the whole application. Means we know that what is Google, so it gives us the access of that key to log in with our credential, that particular platform. But it not define and show how to use it, only give you the what is. So that's the basic of API is like application programming interface to connect with to multiple application. And for that we need all authentication is also is a way to verify users identity and permission to access API. And it's a essential part of any API system, because it provides a secure way to control access API and its resources. This is the part about REST API. And then second point is API deployment tool. So we have the render.com platform, which gives us to deploy your server side code or APIs, that gives you the managing of your applications and database. Like we are working on the MERN stack, so here we are using the Express.js, Node.js for the environment, and the Mongoose for the database, and the API which is REST API. So a combination of that MERN stack, the server side coding, we are deploying on the render.com, which gives us a URL which can use for the any particular application to creating or using that method or operations. So these are some advantages for the API deployment tool, like easy to use, simple interface, minimal developers needed, auto scaling, free SSL, which gives a HTTPS URL with the domain which is created by the render.com, and the continuous deployment. We can integrate with GitHub. We have to push our code into GitHub, and we can integrate that particular API folder or server-side coding to the render.com. And it's cost effective, means this is a free open source, so we can use for the beginner and freshers also. And the third one is API testing tool. So we are creating the API, but we have the tool for testing it's working or not. So we are using the Postman tool to testing that APIs. And first we'll need to know about the Postman. It's an API development tool for testing and documentation and the monitoring of APIs. Which type of API is there? Method? What type of method are there? Like that. What is URL? How to use it? So I have the Postman tool in my system. Yeah, it's opening. So this is the interface for Postman to testing APIs. So here you can see my cursor on that search bar. Here's the URL section. Here I have to enter my URL, which is which is the combination of domain, the base URL of API, and the endpoints. So you can see that I have created the already SSL created URL from the render, like https employee API and annex e dot on render.com. It's the API created from the render.com, which is after creation of my API I deployed on the render.com, and it gives me the URL like that. And employee is the my base URL of that API, and after that I have some endpoints for the that operations of that. And here you can see that there's the methods we are having for the testing, for the especially for the REST API, because REST API is the representative layer. It's not changing state of that API. It gives a simple and advanced feature. That's why we use the REST, because at the single URL of endpoint we can use multiple methods like get, post, put, patch, delete. Put and patch similar, but put updates all the data of that particular JSON file, and patch is update the particular section or particular you can say that name, email, and the basic data of that particular object. And delete is for deleting the data from the database or any console. You can use any type of database. We are using the mongoose for connection of mongodb. And get and post is for the taking the data from the server, because we have to uh, mention there the which method we are working with this particular URL. Means there's a method is get and the URL is like that, and we have to hit the button to send. Means we are requesting to the server for that particular method to operate that particular operation. Similar for the post also, but post is posting the data. Means we are creating the data to for server. It's like we have to pass some data. uh, okay. We'll go in the postman testing in brief with my colleague Himanshu. We'll go the further part. Okay, so this is the theoretical part, which is I demonstrated you, and just I will give the overview of the API creation of part. So first, we need to start the server. So you can see here, server is running on the port 1000 and database connected. So I will restart it again. I will just give the brief of my folders and the structure of coding. So you can see that there's a two folder, which is employee API and manage employee. So manage employee is the application, which is the UI of created in the React architecture, which will be shown in the uh, web page. And the employee API is the server side coding, which is created, which is a combination of model controllers, routes, and the main connection of database with the database. So we need for the server coding creation is Express for the Express application, which is the main core of server side coding. Mongoose for the connection of MongoDB with server side coding. Course is the bridge. We can say that middleware or bridge with the front end, back end, and the server. And this is the custom routes I created for the API, and the .env file, which is my string, which is connected with the MongoDB. And this all things with the connection of database. Here I connected with this variable to dot connect mongoose dot connect with process dot env dot mongodb mongo dot mongo underscore url. This is the variable. In that I have the connection string, which is mongodb dot star. This is the URL, which is we get from the MongoDB Atlas, and we are using the database of MongoDB. Okay, that's it. And after we'll go for the APIs. So we already know about this methods: get, post, put, delete. So we are using same for the post. We have the endpoints like slash create, and this is the logical part where we are. Uh, Showing the data to the database. and second one is for the get to taking data from the database with this that endpoint. And if you want a particular data, so we are passing as a parameter of particular id of that particular section of data of string. You can see here that is the you can see the name, gender, email, designation, mobile number. This is the combination of data which are passing in the JSON format. So we can get all data by using that id, which will pass through that endpoint. And for searching also, we can search particular employee by passing the name of as a name of parameter here. This is the get method. And then put for updating a particular data of employee. So we have to pass the id of that particular section of data or employee, and we can update those variables which is we are mentioning in that coding of API. And last is the delete. So we use dot delete for the deleting. For updating, we use dot put. For taking the data from the server, we use dot get method. And then creating the data to database or posting, we use the post. So we cover up that CRUD methods in over here. So now I just over to Himanshu for the demonstration of API creation, deployment, and documentation testing. Thank you.
Thank you, Sai. Hi everyone. Good morning. So we will discuss about the creation, testing, documentation, deployment, and integration of the REST API now. So firstly, I will go with the creation. How we can create the API. I'll share my screen. Basically, to create the API, we require Node.js, Express, and the routes to create there, as I have created in my code. Yeah. So this is my Node application created here using Express.js Node. I have created this API. I have created their models, routes, and connected the database using MongoDB. And I have centered that data in the format of numbers, strings, you can see here. So basically, I use the MongoDB Atlas and I connected the database and using this URL. After that, I created the routes to create the endpoints and to get the data and to update that particular data and to post the data from the using Postman. So I will tell which routes I have created to create an employee. This is the endpoint for that, and the using Postmeter we can send the data to the database in the MongoDB Atlas, and there the data will be stored, and we can get that particular data using the get method. And for the get to get that particular data, uh, uh, we uh, we can fetch that data using ID of that particular employee, and to get the all the data of the employees, we can get that data by using the slash front slash in the endpoint of the our URL. And again, to get the employee by using his custom ID, as for particular company there will be one custom ID for the particular employee, so that we have to enter here, and after that we can get that particular employee data. And using name also we can get the data, as multiple employee will be present, so we can get that particular employee data. And here the we, logic is present behind that. To update the particular employee data, here is the put method I have used and the endpoints I have created, and using request and response, we are sending request and getting the response from the server. And here is the delete. For the delete, we are created the route for the delete and use the endpoint like custom ID and the particular custom ID of the employee. After that, here is a model to send the data on that the custom ID will be of the number type and the name will be of the string type, position of that particular employee and the department. Basic. After that, here we will create a documentation for it as I created. So using this documentation, we will test this particular API. First, before that, I deployed that API on the render. So I will tell how to deploy that, and after that, we will test that particular API. So using render, we have to deploy it on our this is the portfolio dashboard of the render. Here we have to deploy our API and we can generate the URL. As we can see, we have generated the employee API URL here. So before that, we have to push this code on the GitHub. As you can see, I have pushed that code on the employee API repository, as you can see here. So and this will be recognized and the GitHub we have to connect with the render platform. After connecting it with the render platform, we can see here our repositories of the GitHub. When we click on new and click on web services, here the repository will be initialized. After putting that here we can get, first we have to copy this URL of our GitHub and paste it here. After that, it will be initialized. Our Git repository will be initialized here, and after that, here we have to give the specific name to our API as one of the API URL I have created. So I will name it as second one. Basically, here you can select the project as per your requirement, and as our language, we have to select here as Node, and the branch will be main, as the Git branch is main. The when I was deploying the API, I selected the main branch, so I will select main. And root directory, as per your requirement, you can keep there and add it in the input field. The build command to install the dependencies present in the our API like routes and particular node modules and the route. Apart from this Mungos, we are to using this npm install, we can install that dependencies. And to start the API, here will be the command like node index.js, and you have to see you have to select the free starter, as we will go with the free starter. After that, environment variables, this is necessary as we are using node environment, and the production will be there as we will deploy, and the https URL will be created, so we will select production environment. Production environment, and simply we have to click on deploy web services. Thus, it will take time to deploy. If any error occurs, it will give the errors to you related to your code here also, and and after that you can check what error is occurred on the particular lines here. You can check here. So we will let it deploy now, and we will use this API which are deployed prior. So we'll copy this URL and we'll test this in the Postman. Postman. This is a tool for testing all the APIs which we will create. So basically, to get all employee data, here is the URL API employees / according to documentation. We will go as in document I have mentioned. Here we will specify all the routes we have created there, and we will get the data for that particular employees, and the using custom ID you can delete the data, update the data. For that all I have given the method what to use and how to use that. So basically here endpoint will be API employees. I have mentioned in the document that our URL will be like this, and here you have to add API in front of our URL. In the document I have mentioned, as you can see here. After that, first we will create a employee. Post. Here we have to select body, that is raw, and the JSON format should be there, and we will send the data in the JSON format. If that particular data is present in your database, so it will not take data present there with the particular custom ID if it is present. So this will data we will send. As we can see here that this data is already present, so that will not take data, as they will say custom ID must be unique. So we can send the data with different custom ID, like we will write 6. Name can be similar, position can be similar, and department even. We will send that data. As you can see, this data has been sent to the database. Now we will check with the Mongoose. So as we can browse the collection, there is the employee collection here. We have data with the 6, as you can see here in the database. We have got that data. Next, get all the employees. Here is the endpoint like employees. No, we have to write API also, and user, and the get method we have to use here. We'll get that all the data present in the database using the endpoint. To get the specific employee data using custom ID. So simply we have to write here ID, and then the particular custom ID. Like I have to fetch the data of Rashmi Nagose, so I will write 5. So you can see we have get the particular data from the database of that particular particular custom ID. Then fetch the data of the by using name. So we'll simply fetch the data of John Louis. Okay, the string should be compared. So first we'll see what data is present in the database, and according to that we will fetch the data. Yeah, firstly we have to use your name. This will be our endpoint name slash the particular name of the employees. Yeah, we can see we have fetched the multiple data present in the database. To update that particular data, we have to use put method. And here we have to write the employees and the custom ID of that particular employee. And after that I will give, as I want to update this data, six number. So I will write here 6, and I will update here as he's a developer. So I will give him the position as a senior developer. Sorry. as you can see, the data has been updated. As even in database, we can see the data has been updated. We have to refresh it. Yeah, here we can see it is the position is assigned as a senior developer. Now to delete a specific data, there is a endpoint like delete, and there will be the endpoint like custom ID, and the particular custom ID should be present here as we will delete this data only. So we should select the delete method. After that, we can delete that particular employee data. As you can see, the particular employee data is deleted from the database. Here, yeah, as you can see, the five data is only present here, and that particular data is being deleted from the database. So this was the testing part using Postman and the documentation. We can find the attachment below of this documentation in the YouTube URL, YouTube description. We can get that. And after that, the point comes integration of this particular API. So as we have created the URL, using this, as we can see, the previous the API which we were deploying, it is deployed. Using this URL, we can also test that particular data. I will copy one and I will test it. I have to write here API employees. So we'll get that all the data. As you can see, that URL also working, which we are deployed now. So after that, integration part comes. So basically, I have created the React app here, as you can see, for the name employee MA, and in the SRC there are components for that particular employee present here, like the form for that to update that particular data, and to search there is a different component present here, and the tabular form to show the particular data of the employee. And the app.js, here is your code, and we use the our URL here, and the endpoints will be present as accordingly, and the data will be fetched here. As you can see, I have created the different uh, we can say like variables, and to fetch the data we are fetching that data using the endpoints here, like you can see here put meta I have used, and the endpoints of that particular employee is means for the endpoints are present here for different tasks. There are the different functions we have created, and the data is being fetched in our output. So basically we will go with the output only. We'll open this in our integrated terminal, and simply we'll hit the command npm start. Okay, sorry, hitting the yeah, it will start. So this is connected, this is the data which you are getting from the MongoDB database from the server, you can say. So here I have performed all the CRUD operation for the employee management. So firstly, we'll fetch the data using custom ID. We'll fetch the John Doe data and the custom ID using custom ID 1. So here we'll write 1 and we'll search for that particular employee as we get that particular employee data. And to edit this particular data, we will simply click on edit. So as you can see the interface here, and the button is be changed to update employee. So we'll assign him role as a senior developer, and the engineering department engineering. So as we can see, data has been updated. Now again we will search for that. particular data. So you can see the data is being shown here. And to add a new employee, so custom ID must be unique. We'll add data. I will take 6 only, as we had deleted previously with 6 custom ID the data. Yes, cursor will write here. Signing role, CTO, department IT, and we simply add that employee. So as you can see, the employee is being added here. So this was the creation, testing, and the documentation according to our API. We have to create that. We have to mention in the document all the possible uh, body structure of that JSON format here only. I will only explain one here, and according to that, you can further proceed testing for that particular API. So basically, I have mentioned here how to create means create an employee. You have to use post method. You have to use this employee endpoint and the body JSON format body to use this, and you can edit this name, position, the department, and the custom ID should be unique here. And if the response is being sended, response is being getting from the server, so it will show the 201 created and return the created employee object in the body JSON format only. So this is how, according to documentation, you can go with the further testing of that particular API. That's all from my side. Hope you all get the creation, testing, documentation, deployment, integration of that particular API, how to do that. Thank you. Over to Sai.
Okay, thank you, Himanshu, for the demonstration on the such kind of employee task on the CRUD application. So I'll have one demo of session programming, like signing up and sign in with the created of REST API. So I will just go here. My screen is visible to you all. Okay, fine. Yeah, yeah, the another demo, which is sign up and sign in, which is using the API, REST API. Here we added the JSON Web Token, which is for the security of data from on the server, and we use JWT, JSON Web Token, for that. And similarly for the bcrypt, which is the encryption format of password. Okay, so just we'll go with this APIs, how to create already we know about how to create the API, but we have the second one here we use for the creating of any registration of any intern, and that register after the registration, how he can sign in with that using that credential to any particular platform. And for that we need some authentication key, and which not to be hacked by someone. So how we can secure that particular thing, so we'll just go through it right now. So yeah, we already have the necessary requirements of server-side coding express schema, but we have the added bcrypt, which is the password hashing library we use here. JSON Web Token, JWT, for the creating of token, which secure the all of the data, which is while registration it is creating, and the auth middleware for the authentication purpose for the sign-in time. And we have the get method for in the interns to taking the data, and we have the registration under slash and regi underscore data. So we are Here passing the data of intern for the registration, and here only we are creating the password for that particular user for using of bcrypt keyword. You have the bcrypt.hash function. So here we are creating that password for that particular user whenever he is going to register with this data, and the password will generate automatically at the time of registration. And after that there's the API for the sign in. Here we are requesting from body, we are just passing email and password, but which password which is created in the registration time only, which is in the format of hash password, and the email which is already entered in the registration time. So we have the logic for the signing, like the server will check that email is available in the database or not. If available, then he will check the password of that particular user is available or not, and he will compare that password with the decrypt format, cover up with all the data of that particular intern with this secret key. And after that we are displaying that all the data, the endpoint of slash profile with this first name to the pin code of that user, and after that the logout. So this is the APIs and the logical part of that we are created here, the schema for that, for registering that data, and the connecting string. Yeah, we are connected with this localhost because we have connected here. The second method is like MongoDB compass. We connected MongoDB atlas string to MongoDB, and MongoDB is the localhost database for testing and for the exploration and locally creation of employees. So we go with this sign in database, and we have the interns collection. Okay, we have already three data, so we'll just delete it. So we have nothing right now. These are the things, and sign up and sign in. So we'll start. We have to start here. My UI is locally start on that port. Here, this is the interface for that, and my database, which is server-side coding, is also started here. The previous I haven't said that demonstrated how to start the server, but my colleague Imanshu has already told about how to start. So we have to just close that, and I'll just enter one more time nodemon index to start the server. Why nodemon? Because node.js is the environment of a server backend. We can see the server side coding, but for that we have to enter multiple times of node index for the restarting the that procedure of server. But nodemon is a library of node.js which gives us, it will whenever we some changes occur in our code, that time only that node1 will understand and restart the server at that time only. If I'll give you some example, like just I remove the endpoint, you can see that there is starting due to changes starting node.js index.js, and just control z at the time of editing of writing the code, that server is restarting. We not need to enter multiple times of that command over there. So this is the advantages of nodemon. That's why we use nodemon. So just we go to the UI part, and here we have the interface like sign up. Nice to meet you. Enter your details, register here. So I will enter here the uh, intern one, intern name like Roy, his email @gmail.com, phone number any random character, XML database. All the necessary details we have to fill here. The address, we just use the default, and we have to select the country, which is I selected Canada. For the Canada, we have the Ontario state, and in Ontario we have the Toronto city. Okay, pin code is not that, but something that we have to hit the button of register. After hitting that, we can see that on the top side of right, data successfully submitted, we are giving a notification. So we have to just go to MongoDB, just refresh it. We got the data in the format of JSON, created the object ID with this all the necessary data, which is I entered here. And for that, now I have to register you over here. So this is the interface for signing, and I need my mail and password, and we know the logic of that password, which is created over here. Just go to the API uh, routes. Yeah, the password is the combination of first name plus last four digit of mobile number. So my first name is enter 1 and the last four digit is 8596. @gmail.com. The name, the last four digit of number, and we have to enter the captcha also. This is a this is for the authentication and two-step authentication. You can see that from the user side. Okay, U and 7. We enter the necessary details with the email ID, password, and the captcha. After hit on the sign name, we are here like welcome back intern window, email ID, mobile number, gender, mail, and the data. So we are in the dashboard of that particular user. If I sign it out, and I will just try one more time to log in here with this another password, and just click on the login. So it will ask me for the captcha, does not match. I will enter with captcha. Uh, you. I'm entering the valid captcha here over here, but not enter the password, valid password, and trying to hit for login. So is it is giving me the invalid password because I already said that validation over the endpoints here over here. Whenever the he got the user from the database, he will verify the email here only. User is not found. The user is found here, but the password which is stored in this database, that is not comparing with this actual password. So that's why it is showing invalid password. So this is the server side validation we created here, and I can show you the password there. Yeah, this is the pcrypt format of that password, so no one can hack that password of that user. So this is the security methods for the security we are using the JWT. And I'll just test the postman over there. URL for that. I'll just change here from port of that server porting. My port is like 4000, so I will change the port. I have to change the base URL, which is data with this employee. Okay, and just I have to go to my routes over there for the sign in / sign in. Method is post because I have to pass email ID and password. Enter. Okay, we'll check it out. Is working or not? You can see here we are giving the response to 200. Okay, request successful. The server has responded the required, and at that time only we are seeing the message like sign in successful with the token which is created over here and which is securing this data from ID, first name, last name till the password, which is in the bcrypt format. Whenever the we are sharing the data with another application or another user, so that time we have to just pass that token, and that token is cover up with all the data which is we are registered for the signing, and that user will secured with his details, so no one can hack them and break their details. So I have to just copy that token, and I will go to JWT over there for the decoding that string. So here this is the interface where we can see that encoded format is in the left side and decoded format in the right side. So I have to paste the string here, and we can see that which data is covered with this that string is showing here with this first name, last name, email, mobile number, all the data which is I entered while registration of that intern and with the signing up that time. So that data is secured with this token. If I remove some characters from that string, so it will not give me the data which is I stored or which is I stored in the database. So this is the advantages of JWT, which gives us for the securing of intern or we can a particular user for the signing up. So this is the real example for the JWT bcrypt format and by using REST API for the MERN stack. Thank you. That's it from my side.
Hey, thank you, Sahil and Himanshu. You did a fabulous job to help us out, and at the same time to know the details about creation, documentation, deployment, testing, and integration of REST APIs. Your hard work related for producing these all the examples are really awesome, and then we appreciate this your efforts over here. This will really help to all those developers who want to establish themselves as a full stack developer and want to have an expertise how they can able to produce the REST APIs as uh, like such kind of topics explorations will give us the guideline how to navigate the through this all the technical stacks. So hopefully this session will give you the boost about the how we can able to produce the REST APIs. with the Team Axiom will always come up with such topics so that together we all can achieve the best, and then these expression topics will really help us to provide the guidelines to every to the developers community. I believe uh, uh, today's topic will certainly give you the detailed guideline about the REST API development. But till then, if you have any queries and if you want to join us for the further technical elaborations, do join us, do write us or comment on the things or ask some queries so that like we can get back to you, and together we can achieve the best to serve to the IT industry. Thank you very much, guys. Have a wonderful day ahead, and I hope you enjoyed these sessions. Thanks.